यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Kataksham to you and the entire your family and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, verse number 26 of 14th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Mam cha yo vibhicharena Bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. What is the means to attain moksha? That's the question which was from Arjuna. Is there any means that makes me directly reach moksha? Because anything, in order to reach, we need to have means for it. Without means, nothing can be attained in this world. The mind is capable of understanding that. Anything to be attained means what? We need to have a proper means to attain whatever we want. Every goal has got its own appropriate means. Now, what is the means can be? What is an appropriate means? It could be for moksha, to attain moksha. That was the question from Arjuna. Now, after completing 13th chapter, if Arjuna is getting this question, means what? It shows the confusion which he is endowed with. Very clearly in 13th chapter, Bhagavan said, moksha is only due to knowledge. Knowledge is the means, a proper means for moksha. That knowledge also in which the detail of equation exists. Jiveshwara Aikya Jnanam. That Jiveshwara Aikya Jnanam is said as Atma Jnanam or Brahma Jnanam or Brahmatmaikya Jnanam. The knowledge of equation, that alone the means for moksha. Now moksha means what? Moksha is not an achievement. Moksha is not attained something, we attain like from outside. No travel is involved. No action is involved. The attaining moksha is not the proper word to be understood. Attaining means what? Understanding or realization. Knowledge is the only means. Okay? There is no travel. A seeker is not traveling one place to another place to attain. Because that attainment, moksha, which is none other than Brahma Swarupa, none other than the seeker's own Swarupa. It's a big deal. We can find that kind of a goal. Swamiji, this is, it's not attractive. I need something, goal must be fixed like a Brahmaloka, Goloka, Vrindavan, or Vaikunta, or Kailasha, Satyaloka, Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. It looks very attractive, colorful, We can play dandiya with Krishna there. All this Navavedha Bhakti should be brought into What are you talking about? There is no means. We are not interested. Knowledge means what? You are saying always Ishvara and me are same, Ishvara and me are same. I don't find anything because I am very limited, tiny jiva, but Bhagavan is almighty. Bhagavan, who doesn't have the limitations. He is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. I am all the way limited. Time-wise limited I am, space-wise limited I am. I am always limited by my karma pala. How can I become a Ishvara? I cannot think myself with equal of Ishvara. So all these things makes, to not set a proper quality for Vedanta. Therefore, first 12 chapters, Bhagavan gave a kind of sadhana. Those sadhanas we learned as a karma yoga sadhanas and upasana yoga sadhanas, then finally jnana yoga sadhanas. These karma yoga sadhanas, which were divided into two, sakama karma yoga, nishkama karma yoga, and upasana also divided into two, eka bhakti upasana, aneka bhakti upasana, then finally jnana yoga, which is told as a shravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam. Because people wants to have easiest way. This is very easiest way. Bhagavan says you need not to travel anywhere. You need not to set a padayatra. You need not to go and walk on fire. You need not to take fire box, fire pot in the hand. You just sit yourself, organize your sense organs, organize your mind, focus on the Shastra, just explore yourself with the help of knowledge of Shastra. That's what Bhagavan says. He says, in order to attain knowledge, you have to dig in you. That is the only one solution, the upaya, the marga. That marga means what? The path, the methodology. In order to gain moksha is attaining knowledge alone is the only one solution by which we can realize our real nature. That is what the attainment is. This is praptasya praptihi, not apraptasya praptihi. All the achievements, which we call it materialistic achievements, are so we attain that which we don't have. That's what known as apraptasya praptihi. We are attaining an object which we were not having with us. But here, moksham, we are attaining that which we own already, but we had forgotten about it. Somehow we were not aware about it. That's all. Now we become aware about that entity and we will learn the attributes of that entity, the glories of that entity, that itself. But in order to attain jnanam, in order to understand the knowledge of equation, we need to have the qualification. Those qualifications will be attained through bhakti. And that bhakti too, it has to be a supreme bhakti. Not, because bhakti has got the divisions, means the steps. In order to understand the steps of bhakti, we have to go to chapter number 7. Chaturvedha bhajante mam janas sukritin arjuna arthortharthi jignasu jnani cha bharat arushabha. Artha bhakti, artharthi bhakti, jignasu bhakti, jnani bhakti. Artha bhakti means temporary. Whenever there is a problem, the bhakti comes in our mind. Bhakti originates in our mind. Bhakti emerges. Bhakti is not born with. I always say bhakti is not inbuilt. Bhakti is to be constructed by a seeker. Okay, if we are born with bhakti means we should have lots of punya, we should have done lots of punya karya in the last birth, like Sant Jnaneshwar. Here also in South, all Alvargal, 9 Margals, all those people were done people. That we saw elaborately in the last chapter. In the 12th chapter and 13th chapter, we saw it. So there are only 5 steps. Whole spiritual practice have been divided into 5 steps. The first Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga, there are 3 steps. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. That's all. Now Karma Yoga brings a kind of ability, maturity. Then Upasana Yoga, it brings the qualifications. The Karma Yoga and the Upasana Yoga might be observed, adapted with a proper attitude. That proper attitude is called Bhakti. That Bhakti is not Artha Bhakti. That Bhakti is not Artharthi Bhakti. That Bhakti, the devotion for the sake of worldly object, is known as Artharthi Bhakti. Now the Bhakti, which is said as a means for knowledge in these words, is known as Jignasu Bhakti, a devotion in order to gain the Ishvara himself. We are going to ask Venkateshwara, I don't want to have anything in this world. I need to have you. I need to know about your reality, real Swarupa. That is my prayer. If I get you, everything will follow me. Because you are the main. In the next verse also is going to say, Brahmanaha Pratisthaham. I am nothing but Brahman. I am the supreme Brahman. That supreme Brahman I am. That's what he is going to say. Now here says, Avyabhicharena Bhakti Yogena, by unflinching Bhakti. What does it mean, unflinching Bhakti? Bhakti means what? Pure love. The Bhakti which selects the ultimate goal. That communication, it's a wonderful communication with Ishvara. You go and stand in front of Ishvara and speak, I don't want anything. You just say, you feel yourself as a king. You become a king. We have to become a king. Therefore you see all the jnanis, whether they are grihasthas, brahmacharis or sannyasis, they never let them down. They are like kings. They say, Bhadram karne bhishrunuyama deva. Their prayer is like that. Let there be auspicious. They are not going to beg from Ishvara. Ishvara, please, de. No. Let's say, Mangalam bhavatu. Bhadram karne bhishrunuyama. Let us hear only Bhadra, Mangalam, auspicious. Shanno mitrashyam varunaha, Shanno bhavatvaryama, Shanna indro brihaspatihi, Shanno vishnururkramaha, Namo brahmane, Namaste vayo, Tvameva pratyaksham brahmasi, Tvameva pratyaksham brahma vadishyami, Ritam vadishyami, Satyam vadishyami, Tanmamavatu, Tadvaktaram avatu mam, avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Beautiful Shanti mantras. Nowhere you find, I need this, I want this. No longing, no wanting. Even in prayers. Prayers with confidence. Prayers with compassion. The prayers with consideration of all beings. That is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. Therefore here Bhagavan says the means of knowledge is bhakti. It's a proper communication with Ishvara and Guru Shastra. That's what is known as unflinching bhakti. Sagunan samatitya etan gunan saha etan gunan samatitya brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He deserves to become Brahman. Becoming Brahman means what? Realizing he is nothing but the super consciousness. Okay, understanding with the Akhandakara Brahma Vritti. This is too technical way of saying, but what I mean to say, just we realize our real nature. That's all. Then that real nature has to be identified with what? The collective consciousness. That we have completed already. Now in these words, the question is answered. What was the question from Arjuna? What is the sadhana to become gunatitaha? Bhagavan has given bhakti sadhana to attain knowledge. When you have knowledge, you will find yourself gunatitaha. That is the clarity Bhagavan has given. Now we are going to read the last words of this chapter. Let us read. Brahmano hi pratithaham amurtasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya ikantikasya cha. Bhagavan says that attainment which is known as Brahman. Okay, so Brahman, the basis of Brahman is none other than I myself. Grammatically, this sentence may look something wrong, but it has to be like that. The basis of Brahman is none other than me. Me means that which is in the form of I. Okay? The Brahman is nothing but me. The same understanding the Shishya, the student also should get. The Brahman is none other than me. Aham Brahma Asmi. I am nothing but that Brahman. That's what Bhagavan says. Because Arjuna is not up to that level. He says, so whatever that is attained in the name of moksha, you can find that is none other than me. Okay? So that entity which is said to be changeless. Okay? Avyaya. Then Amurtasya, which is immortal. And not only that, eternal dharma, which is endowed with eternal dharma. Eternal dharma means what? That eternal dharma means dharma doesn't have the time and space limitations. So dharma is an attribute, it's nothing but Brahma Swarupa. You cannot separate dharma and Brahman. Therefore, in my experience, when you do Soham Upasana, do you know what does it mean? Soham Upasana, Soham. The sannyasa mantra is a very long mantra which has got this Soham Upasana. In that Upasana, you repeat, keep on saying that I am nothing but Ishvara. I am nothing but Ishvara. I am nothing but Ishvara who is Satchidanandam Brahma. I am nothing but his Swarupa who is Satchidanandam Brahma. This keep on repeating. There is no any prayer scene. There is not at all any prayer for welfare, prayer for future, nothing. But when you study Bhashya, you will understand that entity itself, Dharma Swarupa, Mangala Swarupa, the nature itself, the auspicious one. The nature of it itself is nothing but auspicious. Okay? Therefore, we need not to pray for it. The nature, the real nature which is beyond death, beyond all kinds of inauspicious. It is only auspicious. Dharmaha, Shashvatasya Dharmasya, Sukhasya Aikantikasya cha. It's unconditional Ananda. That entity which is nothing but unconditional bliss. Therefore, we need not to have more effort, more prayer for that. Just you have to keep identifying yourself with Him. Yourself with Him means what? Yourself with the collective consciousness. That itself enough. Matter khatam hoya. That's all. So everything is done. Now Atmajnani is done. That's what the conclusion of this 14th chapter. Now we have completed Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogaha, the name of the chapter which is called the divisions of three gunas. The chapter has given title, so only the divisions of three guna we have studied, through which we can identify Gunatita. Our goal is to get to arrive at to the Gunatita Lakshanam. That's what the chapter all about. Now we are going to conclude with those 4 lines, usually what we do. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogo Nama Chaturdashodhyayaha. The chapter which is known as Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogaha, which is in the form of dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, which we find in Bhagavad Gita, that which is equal to Upanishad, the content of which is known as Brahma Vidya, and which is also called as a Yoga Shastra, that is concluded in the form of 14th chapter. Okay, that's all the proper conclusion. Now we have completed the 14 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. In the 3rd Shatkam also we have completed 2 chapters. Okay, so we will begin the summary of this chapter from next session. Then we will start 15th chapter, which is going to be a Purushottama Yogaha. So that chapter alone is chanted before meal in every ashrama, in every orthodox family. That verse itself, it's a long verses, that we will learn very carefully, because this last verse in which Bhagavan said, I am none other than Brahman. That concept is elaborated in the name of Purushottama, Uttama Purushaha, in the next chapter. That we will see with the blessings of Venkateshwara. We will just analyze and assimilate the knowledge which are going to come, the knowledge which we have completed. Harihi Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.